What started as a solo encore concert turned into a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Jin, the eldest member of BTS, shocked the world once again. This time, not through headlines or variety appearances, but from the very stage he commanded during his Seokjin EP tour grand finale at Incheon's Munhak Stadium. As soon as the concert began, fans from around the globe flooded social media platforms with hashtags like #JinEncoreConcert, #GlobalStarJin, and #Seokjin Finale, which dominated the top 10 trending topics across 46 countries simultaneously. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, Jakarta to Johannesburg, Jin's name echoed beyond fandom borders, capturing the attention of international media outlets, celebrities, and even political figures. This wasn't just another concert. It was the most awaited live performance by a BTS member since their military hiatus. After nearly 2 years of individual pursuits and service, the world was starving for a taste of BTS magic, and Jin delivered it with a poetic vengeance. With a setlist filled with emotional ballads, high-energy anthems, and breathtaking visuals, Jin proved that the stage still belongs to him. He performed hits from his albums The Astronaut, Happy, and Echo. Each met with deafening cheers from over 30,000 fans in attendance and millions more watching live streams, TikTok clips, and real-time posts. But what truly made the world stop was Jin's live vocals, raw, clear, and piercing. Global audiences who had never attended a BTS concert before were left stunned. Clips of Jin's rendition of Epiphany and his new song, Echoes, and spread like wildfire. Influencers and vocal coaches reacted with awe. That control, that emotion. That's a world-class vocalist, said American music analyst Jonathan Reed on X, formerly Twitter. The concert was also boosted by surprise appearances from Jungkook, J-Hope, Jimin, and Taehyung, creating an emotional time warp to BTS's group era. Yet, even among this dazzling lineup, Jin remained the emotional center of the evening. One viral moment captured Jin in tears during his closing remarks, saying, "I waited so long for this night, and I hope the world remembers it too." The next morning, major US and European news outlets picked up the story. CNN, Billboard, NME, and Rolling Stone all ran features about the unprecedented solo impact of Jin's concert. Music reviewer Aria Martinez wrote, "The stage didn't just belong to Jin, it bent to his will." That performance was as majestic as anything seen in the Super Bowl halftime show or Grammy stage. Meanwhile, K-pop fans and casual listeners alike praised the emotional depth of Jin's lyrics and his ability to maintain vocal stamina for nearly 3 hours. Even veteran artists in the Western pop industry took notice. Coldplay's Chris Martin, who previously collaborated with Jin, shared a story on Instagram. "Watched Jin's encore stream last night. Still gives me chills." Perhaps what shook the world most was the timing and atmosphere. Coming on the heels of BTS's return to stage announcements, Jin's concert acted as a spiritual preview of what fans can expect in 2026. The world didn't just watch a concert. It witnessed the rekindling of a global fire that BTS had ignited a decade earlier. Jin's concert now holds the record for most global mentions for a solo K-pop event in under 12 hours, according to Meltwater data. It wasn't just about Korea. It was a night when the world stopped scrolling, turned up the volume, and watched a star reclaim his throne. As the final fireworks lit up the Incheon sky, fans knew one thing for sure. This wasn't just the end of a concert. It was the beginning of a new chapter for Jin and for global music. As the dust settled on the explosive encore night, social media metrics painted a staggering picture. Within 12 hours, the hashtag #JinEncoreConcert had surpassed 30 million mentions globally, and even more remarkably, broadcast networks across Latin America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East ran special segments discussing the spectacle that had unfolded in Incheon. But what made this moment so impactful wasn't just the scale, it was the emotion. Viewers watching Jin's performance live via stream reported moments of stillness, tears, even shock, especially when he walked alone to the center of the stage to sing "Moonlight Sees You," a new ballad he composed for Army while serving in the military. That one performance was replayed over 17 million times within 24 hours on various platforms, and the days that followed, even non-fans found themselves drawn into Jin's orbit. American talk show hosts discussed his stage presence, while European vocal experts published essays analyzing his vibrato and falsetto range. Music review platform Pitchfork, known for their high standards, posted, "Jin's performance wasn't about technical showboating. It was about presence, emotional precision, honesty. There was no filter, no veil, just a man giving everything to the audience who waited for him." Jin's team later confirmed that this concert broke multiple streaming records for Korean soloists and had been officially recognized by South Korea's Ministry of Culture as a landmark global cultural moment. BTS's company HYB also released a statement saying they were immensely proud and that Jin's concert symbolized the future of immersive solo performances on a global scale. What makes Jin's case extraordinary is that this was not a promotional concert tied to an album launch. It was an encore, a thank you gesture, and yet it resonated across borders, genres, and generations. Fans from Egypt to Brazil posted videos of entire families watching the performance together, crying, smiling, and gasping at every high note. Even Marcelo Ebrard, Mexico's Minister of Economy, who was in South Korea for the APEC summit, was seen attending the concert as a fan, seated anonymously among the crowd. Further proving the truly diplomatic power of K-pop as a global connector, AS world media now scrambles to understand how a single artist could command such impact. One truth remains undeniable. Jin didn't just perform, he redefined what it means to return. And now, as fans look forward, questions swirl. Will Jin launch a new tour? Will he headline a global festival? Will this moment mark the beginning of BTS's second era as solo and group legends? The world may not have all the answers yet, but one thing is clear: Jin's encore wasn't the end. It was a beginning, and the whole world was watching. AS international media began replaying the highlights of the concert across multiple time zones. Something astonishing became clear. Jin wasn't just trending in South Korea or the US. He was trending everywhere. From London tabloids to Brazilian morning talk shows, from Nigerian Twitter spaces to French radio reviews, the conversation was singular: Jin's voice, Jin's presence, Jin's return. What shocked most people wasn't just the musicality or visuals. It was the emotional leadership he displayed as a soloist. Unlike many high-profile solo performances that lean heavily on props or backup dancers, Jin's show carried the gravity of a storyteller, bringing fans on an emotional arc from joy to nostalgia, vulnerability to catharsis. And that's when music platforms around the world started reporting spikes. Spotify saw Jin's solo catalog surge more than 480% in one day, with Epiphany, The Astronaut, and his newly performed track Beyond the Stars dominating global charts. Apple Music Korea reported Jin's concert stream as the most rewatched event of 2025. So at the heart of it all, Jin's sincerity became the defining memory of the night. After the final encore and a long-standing ovation, Jin bowed for a full minute, then walked slowly to the mic and said, "Thank you for waiting. Thank you for believing. Let's walk the rest of the way together." It was that final line that made headlines worldwide, not just as a thank you to ARMY, but as a reminder. This is only the beginning. And perhaps what shook the world the most wasn't just the lights or the choreography, but the fact that one man, armed with sincerity, humility, and unmatched vocals, could command global attention without gimmicks. The world watched Jin that night, and the world will be watching still. As dawn broke in Seoul the next morning, it wasn't just the fans who were still buzzing. Global media outlets flooded with op-eds, reaction articles, and front-page spreads declaring Jin's encore concert as not just a performance, but a cultural moment. The New York Times headlined with, "The voice that silenced the world, Jin's solo power," while Rolling Stone simply called it, "The return of a legend." Entertainment anchors across Latin America, Europe, and Southeast Asia replayed the footage of Jin's dramatic high notes, his emotional speech, and the powerful ending bow. Clips of his soft smile, the visible exhaustion in his eyes, and his hand clutching the mic like a lifeline were turned into emotional montages that circulated across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. The hashtags #JinEncore2025, #JinTakesTheWorld, and #LegendJin collectively crossed over 2.4 billion views in less than 36 hours. But perhaps the most emotional part of this global phenomenon was the response from fans. Not just ARMY, but casual listeners, celebrities, and even non-K-pop followers who were drawn into the magnetism of Jin's honesty. Comment sections were flooded with confessions like, "I didn't even know who he was yesterday. Now I feel like I've known him for years. I didn't understand K-pop until I watched Jin's concert. Now I get it. It's about connection. This isn't a comeback. It's a rebirth." Even BTS members RM, Jimin, and Jungkook shared emotional stories on their social media hours after the concert. RM posted a photo of the encore set with the caption, "Young, you moved mountains tonight."